Hello.
What's up, y'all? YoungAndOne. I'm Antoine, and this is my beautiful wife.
Jaleesa. Oh, can you tell?
That's all good. It's got to be good. So my wife, she's I don't like to speak anything negative, so she's getting healed in Jesus' name. Yeah.
However, the fact that I am sitting here is a testament of God's goodness. What do you say?
Absolutely.
It's been a rough couple of days, but I'm here.
Yeah, so we're not going to be here. We're not going to be here long. We're just going to say what God has told us to say, and we're going to flow like we always do. But let's get to it.
Yeah, so tonight we're talking about a purpose-driven life in marriage. And this is the very essence.
Okay, take your time, babe.
This is the very essence of what it is that we do and what it is that we push.
Yeah, absolutely. So, purpose-driven life in marriage. One of the things that God has gave us in the beginning of getting married is understanding that there is a purpose. There's a assignment attached to your marriage. And when he gave that to us, he gave us, I would say, to be, so a man of God described it as being trailblazers, right? To live out what I gave you, the glimpse I gave you, and to be able to, present it or invite other married couples to live that out as well. Right. Yeah, so it could be like a guy idea. One of the things I told my wife, I said, sorry about that. And I was like, how can a married couple discover what they're called to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I went back to when I first laid eyes on my wife, right? Of course, she was gorgeous, right? Obviously, if she wasn't gorgeous, I wouldn't be looking, you know what I'm saying? But, when I saw her, to be transparent, I didn't, usually being in the world, the first thing you see a girl, you like, okay, you think about sex, right? And for some reason, I was attracted to her, but my mind didn't go to sex, right? My mind went to purpose. It may sound funny, it may sound crazy, but I wasn't in the space at the time of thinking to be a pastor one day, but my spirit was able to identify with her, like, literally say, that's your co-pastor, right? Because the spirit man knows, right? Yeah. So I was able to identify that, she had something that I needed, and I had something that she needed to complete the will of God. And fast forward, obviously talking, courting, 6 months later, we got married, and God gave us YoungAndOne. Why am I stuttering? But
are you?
I say that to say this. When it comes to finding purpose in your marriage, you definitely want to go back to the beginning stages of what drew you to that person, what drew you to your spouse. Was it certain attributes or certain qualities that you saw and then that you saw in yourself? Was it the conversations that you had where there was mutual interest, where you discovered that, our interests are the same, our goals are the same, and she has something that I've been missing, and I have something that she's missing, and we can merge. What is it? What are those things, those intangible things, those facets that they have, that you can journey together and purpose. Maybe a business, maybe God idea, maybe a nonprofit. Only God knows that, but there is something.
Yeah, that's really good. I think the marriages that are called to our voice innately know that God called them together for a greater purpose.
Right.
It's something that you can't shake. Like, no matter what you do, it always circles back to, we're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you're not fully clear on what that thing is. And I think sometimes the reason that we're not clear is that we don't just start. Like, sometimes we're waiting for steps 1 through 10, and God will only give us 1. And if we don't step out on 1, then we can't get 2. And so
Preaching.
What we're saying is that we want to serve, as those pushers in your life to either help you step fully into whatever that thing is God mandated on your marriage, or help you to discover what that is. We were a little unsure, right? When it's a God idea, like you said, a trailblazing type of thing that you haven't really seen before, sometimes you question, is this a good idea or is this a God idea? And so what we did was polled around like 40 couples. We asked them a number of questions. I won't go into all of them right now, but the very last question that we asked is if they would be interested in discovering how God can use their collective strengths to impact others through the form of business. Now, first of all, that question is very long.
Very lengthy.
So I'm glad that
effective.
the couples understood what it was that I was trying to say. And for those joining, I apologize for my voice.
Yeah, keep my wife in prayer,
I got a lot
please.
going on, but we're going to get through this.
Keep her in prayer, guys.
Out of that question, over 90% of the couples said yes. Yes, they would be interested in figuring out what is it that God will call them to do so that they can make an impact on the community at large. And so let's give some examples. Like, say a couple is graced in finances, credit repair, things of this nature. We have to understand that God has caused us to be the solution to a problem.
Yes.
That's all business is at the very core, is a solution to a problem. And so it's understanding that we are called to serve, right? And so if I am graced in finances and in credit, but I'm holding that to myself because I don't think that it's worthy, or that I'm good, or that anybody needs it, then it comes into question, how many couples am I holding back from financial freedom?
Absolutely. And not only that, it's because I know as you were talking, somebody like, well, what if my wife, or as the husband, I'm good at finances, right? But my wife's not. So how do we go in business? Well, maybe your wife or your husband are very persuasive, right? They're able to articulate and communicate the service to outsiders, right? Where at the end of the day, you're serving, right? I mean, you're serving each other, and then you guys are in serving each other, filtering out how to serve others. And I think, we talked about this earlier, and I think, a lot of people go into marriage, right, with this notion of, I'm going to live out a fairy tale, but they fail to live out their true purpose and discover why God has allowed the two to become one. God is a jealous God, right? I believe when God, I can say this, I can say this confidently. When God ordains something, in this case a marriage, he has an expectation to be glorified, right? And while it's love and care, those things are important. You need that because it's going to keep you going. Right. You don't want to be with somebody that you don't love, right? You don't want to be with anybody that you don't care, right? Somebody that you can't see doing life with, right? Those things are very important. Those are foundational stuff, along with God. But those things are surface when it comes to giving God the glory. So being able to discover who you guys are collectively and how it can glorify God is what he's after, right? So again, what I'm saying, this fairy tale, like, oh yeah, this is our love story. That's cool, but now it's time to do the work.
Like dig deeper.
Dig deeper. Why has God allowed us to say yes and I do, and to be and to become one? Out
of all of these people in the world,
why us too, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's very imperative to really, just dig deep and find out, because when you find out of that comes destiny. Out of that comes purpose, legacy. Things that will live on beyond your marriage. You want people to really look at you when it's all said and done and say, that married couple, so and so, they blessed me, right? They left their mark. Whether that's finances, whether that's in ministry, whatever it is that God has called you, you want to leave a mark. You want the marriage to be stamped in people's lives. You know, everybody's not called to you, but those who are called to you, you want to be effective, and that's how God's going to get the glory. So it's bigger than you too.
Ooh, you preaching. That was so good. That was so good. I mean, I don't know where else to go from here except really driving home that there is power in unity.
Yes.
In a collective effort. And you already touched on this, but just to reiterate that maybe one person feels drawn to business, but it's about finding out, where do I fit in? Because if you're called, then I'm called. We're called together.
Yes, that's good.
And so how can let's use this in our lives. I would say when I first started in business, I did not have like the financial, sales, any of that. And I was lowballing myself. And you really came in and was like, do you know your value? Do you know your worth? And it really pulled me up to another level that if you were not in my life, I would still, be diminishing the gifting.
Right.
And so it's honing in on those strengths that you each have and then pulling that out of each other. The beauty of marriage is that we lack nothing.
Right. Nothing at all.
So wherever one is weak, the other is strong. And so there's literally no weakness because all we have is strength.
That's it. When you was talking about that, to God be the glory, I don't take no type of credit. It's all God. But, when somebody has an evident gift, right, to go back to what you were saying, that other person's gift may be managing, right? Mm-hmm. So you can manage the gift. You'll be able to manage and the finances, be able to manage and give a level of accountability where the gift is not being undervalued, right? Mm-hmm. It's nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted, and there's no lack, like you said, right? But it's just finding those strengths. It's finding those core values and those great attributes that you have, and to be able to intertwine them things to make the best in the marriage, and make the best in the calling and the assignment that God has called you guys to. But babe, I really don't want to be on here too long because I need you to get your voice back. So we talked about this, the power of the unity. We talked about purpose-driven life and marriage. This is the fun part, right? This is the part where we talked about what we really want to do. We really want to invite. Mm-hmm. We want to invite you, husbands, wives. If you're on here right now, wives, if you're on here and your husbands are not, invite them. Husbands, if you're on here and your wife's not, invite them. If you see this on the replay, invite. This is your invite from YoungAndOne. What we want to invite you guys. What are we inviting them to, babe?
Yeah, so we're going to have a 3-day challenge. A 3-day challenge to help you get clear on your collective purpose and walk away with a business idea.
Wow. How major is that?
That's pretty major.
That's pretty major. That's pretty major. So what we want you to do, if the things that we have been saying is kind of making your baby leap, or you're like, man, that sounds like me and my husband, or what we've been clashing on and trying to figure out what the issue is, we want you to join us. And the way that you can do that is to DM us the word unity. Mm-hmm. DM us the word unity, and we will get you more details as to how to go forward in that 3-day challenge. Yeah, for sure. And I feel led to do this too. We're in the last quarter of the year, and this is holiday season. Thanksgiving first, and then Christmas. I usually keep my personal business separate from our business, but I am led to do this. If you or anyone are looking to, access, extra funds, additional funds for the holiday, please DM us as well. DM. This is off the cuff, so extra income. Yeah. We can type that in right now. Yeah, right. DM us extra income. if you are looking for ways to make some extra income during this holiday season, but not to veer off from what my wife said. We're excited about this 3-day challenge. Make sure you DM us Unity if you and your husband, you and your wife want to sign up for our 3-day challenge, where we can help you get a clear vision in the business idea as it pertains to your marriage.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. The last thing we'll say in wrapping this up, we believe that marriage is even bigger than the collective purpose. We got to get unified, right?
Yeah, that's very important.
That's the core. So we got to get unified, and then from there we can do what God has assigned for us to do. So DM us Unity, DM us extra income, and we are excited. We're excited about what the Lord is doing and journey with us.
Yeah, so hopefully we see the DMs, and we're excited to see your faces, your avatars, icons, and those who are going to participate in the 3-day challenge. But it's going to be fun. God is in the midst. He is all Him. Like I said, we are merely vessels, but it's all God, and we give Him all the glory for it, and we're excited. So again, we're just short. My wife, I'm gonna go ahead and nurse her a little bit, and let's get her voice back. But we love you, and God bless.